You will come in when this warehouse opens. I used to work in a warehouse, and one day we got a new floor manager. He had this grand idea that he was going to make an already functional supply warehouse work even better. It is important to note that all of our deliveries were sent out on time, received on time. No workplace accidents other than the occasional stubbed toe or splinter from a wooden box. This place ran about as smoothly and efficient as possible, but it wasn't good enough for the new manager. He made it a point to check on everyone, getting into things that weren't his business and things he didn't know about. One of his biggest things was making sure that everyone was at work on time. We didn't have a time clock. We just wrote down when we got in and when we left. The new manager insisted that a punch card system would work much better for us, but the owners weren't willing to invest in that. So, new manager would spend every morning watching everyone come through the front door. We had maybe 50 people who worked there, so he made sure to count who came in and when. Anyone who walked in the door past 8:05 a.m. got written up. That is when he met the old guy. Old guy had been with the company pretty much since it opened. He knew everything and everyone there. Great guy, and everyone liked him. On the second or third day of new manager watching everyone come in, he sees old guy walking in the front doors at 8:15. New manager rips into old guy, telling him that he was late, that it was unacceptable, and that he was getting written up. He is yelling in the middle of the warehouse where everyone can see and hear him. Old guy tries to explain, but gets told to shut up. New manager tops this all off with an order. This warehouse opens at 8 a.m. sharp every day, 5 days a week, and I expect you at that door at 8 a.m. to begin your shift. You will be here when the warehouse opens. Is that understood? Old guy just kinda smiles, takes the paperwork, and apologies, stating that he would be in tomorrow at 8 a.m. just as he was told. The smug look on the new manager's face was picture perfect. He was certain that he had just fixed the biggest flaw in the company. The next day at 8 a.m. sharp, old guy walked through the door and simply made sure that he was seen. Then he went off into the warehouse. That day was a nightmare. Orders were backed up. Trucks were waiting on paperwork. New manager is almost in tears because of the chaos. The owner comes in and starts trying to make sense of the situation with new manager, and they track the paperwork issue back to old guy. New manager is upset, but owner is concerned and asked old guy if everything is okay. Old guy just tries to hide his embarrassment, saying that new manager wrote him up the day before, and he was told that he had to come in at 8 a.m. not at 4 a.m. like he always did, to get all the orders and paperwork ready for the day. The day before, when he walked in the door, he had been coming in from a break. New manager tried to backpedal, saying he didn't know, that it was old guy's fault. Owner knew better. After that, the new manager wasn't working at the warehouse anymore, or for the company. He went off to become a new manager for someplace else. Thankfully, old guy knew what was going to happen and had most of the paperwork done for the day already, so we weren't too behind when the smoke cleared. I made this as a comment to a different post, felt it deserved a full story.
Enjoy.
Was a department manager at a grocery store a while back. Used to come in at 4 and knock out all the front of department displays and generally make the place look nice. Orders come down, we now have to start at 6, no exceptions. So I kept working at 4 and doing my thing. Had gotten compliments on how the department looked by big bosses who walked in early in GHE morning. Got a talking to a month or so in that they noticed I wasn't coming in at 6. I said, yep, that's right. I'm doing all this stuff. They said, unfortunately you need to come in at 6. Sure thing, gang. Boss walks in at 7 the next day and immediately notices my department looks like a bomb went off. Walks over and asks what happened. I just told him I came in at 6, but I don't have time to talk, I need to start my order soon, so I'm trying to get done everything I can before that happens. He asks what time I'll have the department looking normal. I looked him dead in the eye and said, with the order being top priority and my state-mandated lunch before 5 hours, it is quite possible the department won't be up and running normally until 10 or 11. I was walking out the door at the end of my shift when he calls out Yomi and asks if I can go back to coming in at 4. No prob, boss. Kind of a reason I've been doing it Thay way. Still friends with GHE guy, and it wasn't his fault he had to enforce it. It was his boss. Manglement screwing up a smooth operation as usual. Best kind of compliance. When you can make it a waking nightmare for management and keep most of the fallout from affecting your coworkers. Old guy is a beast, amazing. I love old guy. He's a legend. I bet everyone liked him even more after this. Yay! When the manager doesn't want to hear your side, just shut up and let the chips fall where they may. Og did a good job proving that. I've had too many jobs where new guy comes in and tries to reinvent the wheel. How about if we do? Yup. Tried and didn't work. If you don't laugh about it, you'd lose your mind. I know a man who worked at a number of food processing factories in the UK doing maintenance on very specific and very old machines, the complexities of which he explained, but I won't profess to understand. He was on the books with his engineering company for decades and was relied upon at confectionery factories in particular, of which there are now a lot less than there once was. The company tried to make his life difficult so that he would voluntarily leave when he was 60. But he knew he was in for a big payoff if they sacked him. So just went about his job ignoring their pettiness. He eventually got his redundancy and retired. Happily so. Only problem is the confectionery factories have a few particular machines very few people know how to tune up and fix. They're gargantuan contraptions full of intricate parts that are incredibly old by industrial standards, and as you might expect, they are prone to collapse on a semi-regular basis. Due to this, they pay this man one-off repair contracts every time the machines break down that are worth more than he ever earned as a salaried employee. All the while he's collecting his pension, sitting on his redundancy, and earning a very good living. Idiots never even asked him to train someone else. Love it. This is absolutely my dad. He worked at Anheuser-Busch for 35 years and knew everything and everyone like the back of his hand. He worked smarter, not harder, and got his job done and made everyone else's job and lives easier if they didn't need to prove a point. When new bosses came in, knowing much more than him, he followed their instructions to AT. Put that bag of lids into the hopper. In went the unopened bag of lids into the hopper. They left him alone after he broke them in one by one. He's my hero. I love old guy. Never screw with an old guy in a business filled with young men. It was not old guy's job to inform new manager what his real hours were. That is what management is already supposed to know. I often tell people that they are not paying me for the 4 hours it took me to complete the project. They are paying me for the 10 years of training and experience that allows me to finish a complicated project in only 4 hours. That is absolutely epic. New manager rips into old guy telling him that he was late, that it was unacceptable, and that he was getting written up. He is yelling in the middle of the warehouse where everyone can see and hear him. Praise in public, punish in privacy. This should be the first lesson for anyone in management. My boss has a rule that new managers can't change anything in the first 3 months. That's time to observe and learn. Let the team do what they've been doing before. You can't make good changes when you don't understand the system. I love malicious compliance stories, and this one is the best. Don't mess with old guys. Youth and exuberance gets noticed, but old age and treachery for the win. Where's the post to which this used to be the parent? I was this guy at one place I worked. 2 days after I got fired, new manager discovered what my job was.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.